Hello everyone and welcome back to From Our Basement Gaming.
Hi everybody.
We are back with part 25 of our Spyro Year of the Dragon Let's Play.
Yeah. Trying to wrap things up. I know we've had pretty good success with this game actually. We have 89 out of 100 we need to take on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is our first time playing through this game, so we have no idea
Correct.
how much longer we have.
That's the other thing too, is that Kevin, this is our first time playing this game.
Yes. Other than a really brief test.
Right.
Which is what we try to do with all of our games, so that we don't start a let's play and then the game doesn't work.
Yeah, we've had moments where we ran into that, but then eventually after some tinkering we did figure out what the problem was.
Yes. Now unfortunately we still have issues arise, like with Sonic CD. We had no idea that it would start acting funky near the end of the game.
Right.
Because that's the sort of thing that a test doesn't really rule out.
True, like, we would have had no idea that the game would have froze or got stuck at the very end of the video game.
Yeah, we also had no idea that we would completely miss out on the ending footage, which is a shame, but you can find it online. It's just unfortunate that you couldn't see it on our Let's Play.
Right. It sucks, but
yeah,
because we did want to see Sonic bring Amy to safety, but then slowly and carefully back away and then dart off, to which Amy then opens her eyes like, huh, where is he?
Yeah. And thus started Sonic having the reputation of not wanting to settle down. Which is like fair, but he just met her. I mean,
right, as I think a lot of people pointed out for me that old Sonic, it was a chance meeting because she was playing with her tarot cards and bumped into Sonic and thought that he was the guy that the cards were saying.
Right.
I admit, I had no idea Amy was into the tarot.
It is something that, like, the franchise itself forgot for a very long time. I was happy. That was one of the things. Now, I haven't played Sonic Superstars, but the fact that the profile mentioned her tarot cards again made me hopeful that, oh, finally, maybe we'll get back to that aspect of her character. Because the Sonic games have that problem a lot, where, especially the early games, they'd, like, drop info about the characters, like random facts, and then just not use that stuff in the games.
Yeah. They do that, actually.
Yeah, like, you know, we found out there was some, like, random stuff, like, out of nowhere with, like, Vector being religious, and then that just doesn't come up again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, usually...
Praise the Lord! Yeah.
Usually religious people, it's usually a big part of their life.
Yeah, it's their part of their character.
Yeah.
Sheet.
And I'm not expecting...
Yeah.
I'm not expecting him to, like, every time he shows up to be like, praise Jesus. Assuming he's Christian, but...
he could be a Buddhist.
He could be a Buddhist, exactly. He could be any religion. But I mean, like, obviously, because, you know, not all religious people are like that all the time. But the fact that they mention these little character traits and never use them. Sometimes. I'm trying to think of another example. just here at the moment. I mean, Amy and her tarot cards is a perfect example.
Right.
To the point where, like, let me know in the comments, guys, any of you Sonic Archie comic readers, did they ever mention it in the comics? Or, you know, are tarot cards just, you know, evil, so we can't show that?
Oh, like Ouija boards?
I mean, obviously this is not the case for all Christians, but, like, the churches that, you know, I had been to, were like, no, you stay away from that stuff. So I don't know if that's a case of like, oh, we don't want to alienate the Christian parents or religious parents that don't like the tarot cards. I don't know if that was part of the reason they never brought it up again, Amy using tarot cards. I mean, technically, in my opinion, they could have just called them oracle cards if, you know, tarot is such a bad
Right.
thing to them. Which is, you know, it's still basically the same thing, but not necessarily, because tarot is just a type of oracle card. But,
True.
or they could have just, you know, said that she does fortune telling.
True, what's the matter with that, kids?
Yeah, but yeah, that was a big part of her character arc, was the tarot cards told her that she would have a chance meeting with someone. You know, but more than likely, she pulled the Lover's card as one of the cards, which is a prominent card in the major tarot deck. And it's, you know, it's possible even that the cards warned her about Metal Sonic. Like, if they made an actual OVA for Sonic CD, I can imagine the scene in my mind playing out that it would warn her about this, like, evil coming that was going to... But then it would assure her, but no need to worry, because a hero is going to come and save you, that kind of thing. I don't know. Tarot cards are very interesting.
They are, actually.
And, you know, I actually am kind of into them. I'm not an expert. I have a lot more to learn about reading them. But, you know, and it's also something where I want to see that aspect used more, so I was like hopeful, oh, maybe they'll incorporate it in the game somehow. Because it was mentioned once and never happened again.
True. I was curious about tarot as well, despite the fact that Whoa!
It's not on your end, guys, but on ours, everything suddenly got very blue.
Yeah, the color just got messed up on the...
Yeah.
Yes.
And Spyro's horns and wings have turned blue.
Yes.
And Sparks has turned blue. Basically, all of the stuff that's originally yellow has turned blue.
Yes, I'd sing the... I'm going to shy away from singing the famous song by... Okay, we're back to normal.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have been burned too much from that song becoming a meme of sorts.
Right.
It's not a meme now. It seems like it was a meme more back in the 2000s. But...
Yeah, and again in the teens, but...
Yeah, because of course we needed the meme to come back after YouTube's existence.
Yeah.
It's one of those pre-YouTube memes.
Oh, yeah.
Arguably pre-internet meme. And I say that because the movie that started it was Big Fat Liar, and man, I hate that movie.
Ooh. Wow, nice.
I mean, it was okay, but because of that scene, I decided
That's okay.
I hate the movie.
I'm not gonna hold it against you, buddy, because
like, whoa, I would have liked you, movie, but you did a thing I can't forgive.
Yes, the unforgivable curse.
And I am not that picky. I mean, when when they did a reference, when a movie did a reference to Eiffel 65 that didn't involve blue, I was actually happy.
Good.
But I feel like only I got the reference. Yeah. So that was a case where my stepdad actually got mad at me because he's like, that's not an Eiffel 65 reference.
Oh.
You want to know his reason why it wasn't?
I'm afraid to ask.
Well,
what was the reason why it wasn't?
There were 3 guys. And you know Eiffel 65. 3 members. Mm-hmm. 3 Italian guys. Well, he's like, one of the actors was black. And he says, well, one of them's black, so it's not an Eiffel 65 reference. And I'm like, but they were dressed in very similar outfit to the outfit that Eiffel 65 wore in both the music video for Blue and the music video for Move Your Body. And in terms of like the height difference between the 3 of them, like that was almost exactly the same. And the outfits were almost exactly the same. And this was a movie about a band. So I'm like, it's kind of a no-brainer that a movie about a fictional band might reference a real-life band.
I'm curious, what was this movie in question?
It was the live-action Josie and the Pussycats movie.
Yeah, I should have guessed it referenced Eiffel 65.
And I appreciate it because, dude, I can tell when references are made by fans, or when it's just made to cash in on something. Because Eiffel 65 was no longer, I don't even think popular at all in the US by the time they made this reference.
Let's see, Josie and the Pussycats was 2000, 2001?
Yeah, so, okay, possible, but a little late to the party, if that's the case.
Yes, it was very late to the party.
Because 1999, they were popular for Blue here, and then it was like, it's basically how, and that's really the U.S. record label that imported their music deciding not to import their second album. That's completely their fault. So.
Yes. No!
Not to mention they didn't release any of the singles leading up to their second album.
Yeah, that sucks.
So they didn't really even give them a chance to have popularity here. So to call Eiffel 65 a one-hit wonder is very stupid.
It's very crude.
It's very crude because that is not the fault of Eiffel 65. It's completely the meddling of record companies.
Yeah, I mean, when you decide that the band should be renamed the Blue Man Trio,
which I think was MTV's fault. I don't know for sure, but I was pretty sure that was MTV that did that.
Makes sense.
The Blue Trio, it's I think what they call it.
Okay, the Blue Trio, not the Blue Man Trio.
Oh no, they couldn't make it too close to the Blue Man because they do. So.
Right. Yeah, it's a shame. I actually remember watching and kind of liking Josie and the Pussycats with some choices that reek of the 2000s that I'm like, why did you do that?
Oh yeah, I in terms of the movie as a whole, it was forgettable.
Damn, but you're right.
I literally only remember it because of the random Eiffel 65 reference that nobody else believes me about.
I believe you. I mean, they referenced NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys in the same group.
Right, and I think he was assuming that Eiffel 65 wasn't popular enough to be referenced, and I'm like,
ah, crud.
It doesn't matter what your thoughts are on the popularity of the band. They were clearly referencing bands that they themselves
right.
liked.
Since I have a feeling that production of the movie probably started in 99.
Exactly, there's that as well.
that Eiffel 65 was still culturally relevant at the time they started making Josie and the Pussycats, and they never bothered to remove those references.
Right, and I'm sure...
when the movie finally got finished.
And I'm sure they assumed that Eiffel 65 would still be popular.
Oh, yeah.
Because they more than likely were one of the... Somebody on the production team probably bought Europop and enjoyed the whole Europop album.
Right.
And assumed, oh, they're gonna do it again, and they'll be popular for a little while.
Yeah.
Just like,
And
I cringe to say this, but they probably were thinking, no, just like NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys.
Right.
I only cringe because Eiffel 65 is definitely not a boy band, but...
Right. No matter how hard you try to squint your eyes and pretend so.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that movie also made references to... ironically, the Village People, despite the fact that the Captain and Tennille aren't ever the same as the Village People. Yes. Thanks, Beach Boys.
Yeah, and also, if you make your reference too close to the source material, it's probably plagiarism at that point.
Well, yeah, obviously.
So I'm like, yeah, I obviously wasn't going to expect them to... Besides, it's probably hard to find actors who look exactly like them, so...
Oh, like the Eiffel 65? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 2 of them were easy, but the third one might have been a little bit...
Right. And their thought was probably, well, good enough in trying to imitate the guys.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, I see you, I saw what you were doing.
Yeah.
Because since Eiffel 65 didn't have that many photo shoots at that time, they only had like 2 or 3, I kind of remembered the outfits really well, so I can tell when they're copying the outfits.
Yeah.
It's like,
Gotcha.
Audacity to try to act like you know more about a group that I'm a huge fan of.
Kim.
Yes.
Yeah. Agreed.
And it's like, since I don't get that so much, and I didn't even get that at the time, I was used to most people not really knowing Eiffel 65, and those who did just knew them for Blue.
I was one of those guys, though I also knew them for Move Your Body and, Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, thankfully there were a small number of people who knew them for those songs, too.
Especially Move Your Body.
Big shout out to, I don't know their names, but the gym teachers I had in elementary school that played their album.
Yes. Shout out to them as well.
Without them, I wouldn't have even discovered the group.
Yes. I also wish to shout out to the teacher who helped make the CD for the International Club. Because when given the task of selecting an Eiffel 65 song, you picked Move Your Body. And that was actually a refreshing choice.
Yes. Which, I'm going to blow everybody's minds, but I actually like Move Your Body a little bit better than that.
Yeah, it's a stronger song, whereas Blue was a novelty song that was meant to sell a cartoon show, I feel.
Well
as talking about a blue man.
And the funny thing about Blue is they did not have that intention at all.
Oh, right. That was the record company.
Yes.
And they just picked any random song that they did to
and that's
sell that cartoon.
The thing about Blue is it's a very good story about how you never know what's going to be a hit. Because it was literally... Blue was literally the result of them playing around during a warm-up session. And they decided, we might as well make a song out of this. It's kind of catchy.
Interesting.
And, I'm sure it's polished up a little bit, but most of the rap part was just Jeffrey improvising.
Oh gosh, that makes much more sense.
The instrumental was just Mauricio warming up on the synthesizer. So
Grace, I found one.
Yay, we found one. Thank God.
I know, it was a challenge. I was worried myself, but
It's just been flying around this whole time.
yes, but I found a hidden spot that apparently
Yeah.
had one of the eggs. Puts us at 90.
It's funny that the Spyro game seems to be the one I'm most talkative game.
It's alright.
It's like that with Crash as well. I don't know what it is with Crash. And
I don't know. Maybe something about that PlayStation game Magic.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But yeah, that was the story. They first released it in 1998, like October 1998. And honestly, when it first came out, it had no real fanfare at all. It was just...
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I remember hearing it the first time in like either 3rd grade or 4th grade.
Right.
And oh, that's interesting. That's my word.
Wait a minute. No, you couldn't have. It came out in 9... It didn't come out here until 99.
Okay, so late 4th grade then.
And I'm talking about before it even came over to the US.
Okay.
In Italy.
Okay. I see. Yeah, that would make sense.
In Italy.
Sorry about
initially,
that.
It's okay. It had no fanfare. I don't remember the exact date. I don't think it was that much later that they had an international release. But it was like, even in Italy, it took until, according to their own account, it took until April 99 for it to really catch on.
Gotcha.
And to the point where, by Gabri Ponte's own recollection, when he got the call telling them it's a big hit, they love it, he said, I thought it was an April Fool's Day.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's telling.
Yeah.
That's very telling that. He thought that the idea that Blue was a huge hit song was an April Fool's joke, and this is why I've been flying around. I've been trying to get this dug on.
yeah, because it was basically, for them, radio silence for several months. It was like, they promoted it, and it was like, okay, it played at some clubs and stuff.
Right.
But it didn't really catch on. And,
It was just an average novelty story song.
and based on the timing, I'd have to look up the release dates again, but I'm sure by now they had already worked on Move Your Body and Too Much of Heaven.
Yeah. Which I feel, too, are much stronger songs, because Move Your Body is a nice little dance song, which is about having fun on the dance floor, and Too Much of Heaven is a more heartfelt, serious song about appreciating the smaller things in life, which...
And not only that, but with the song itself, it does come across as a getting too into like the dependence on money, like literally becoming your obsession. And when you put it together with the story presented in the music video, yay!
Max!
Yay, Max! Oh, what a cutie.
He is.
When the story the music video tells you is actually a cautionary tale about fame going to your head. Fame and fortune.
Right.
So it's a very interesting take because they themselves were imagining themselves in this situation. Definitely Too Much of Heaven I enjoy a lot more the music video because it was more grounded. Whereas the music videos for Blue and Move Your Body were kind of like this fictional sci-fi story.
Right, especially tied to...
The blue alien, that Blue is about, basically.
Yeah.
Which, not originally about him, but they just kind of made him for the music video. Because, during interviews, it was probably very awkward because everybody was like, well, what's this song really about? And he was like, I didn't really have a specific deep meaning in mind.
Right, and that must have been uncomfortable, especially considering everybody assumed that it was about the blue alien from that cartoon.
Yeah, and they were all like, oh, are you saying you're sad? Is it about loneliness? And he was like, no. You in Russia, blue means gay. Is it about a gay guy? No.
That's the saddest part.
I'm like, thanks to that interview, I now know that in Russia they associate blue with gay.
Right. What they associate. What else?
And over here for the longest time it was purple. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I hope you guys don't mind extended discussions about Eiffel 65 because that's me.
That's quite alright. I mean, heck, it gave me an excuse to talk about Josie and the Pussycats, but
right.
As for what really won me over was when you played me their third album, and I heard 80 Stars, and I never went back.
That was supposed to be in the second album.
Right, you showed it to me thanks to the magic of YouTube.
Yes, and it is a reference to a very popular Italian song.
Yes. Yes.
Franco Battiato.
Essentially, I could argue it renewed my interest in Italian music.
Yeah. And, it introduced both of us to a singer we previously didn't know about.
Yeah, Franco Battiato.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Franco Battiato. He's basically a household name.
Yes.
He's that big of a deal. He's kind of like... what's a good equivalent?
That's a tough one.
Musically, not a good equivalent, but in terms of everybody knows this person in America, I'm going to just say Elvis. But musically...
That's fair.
Musically, very different from Elvis.
Yeah.
So I don't mean musically. I was just trying to think of a household name here.
That's fair.
And, and he's somebody who's been doing music since the late 60s. So.
Yeah, that makes me impressed. That he had that long of a...
Yeah, and I think the music he did in the 80s had the biggest impact on Jeffrey, and I think that's why he referenced his 80s music in particular. And also, I believe a lot of his songs that he did in the 80s were internationally recognized, whereas maybe his 60s and 70s stuff was more just in Italy, but I have to do more research.
Niche in Italy, yeah.
No, I meant more just in Italy. Like,
right.
He didn't really seem to be like a internationally known, and by internationally I mean mostly other European countries, but because I don't think we really know that name here in the U.S.
Right.
But like every Italian person I've ever met has mentioned him. So yeah.
I believe it. And it just reminds me that there's a whole world of music that is underappreciated because it's not in the English-speaking world.
Unfortunately,
yeah. I don't like it, but admittedly,
we're not as open to international music as other countries are.
true. And
I mean, maybe a little bit, but not much.
yeah, I love international music because,
That's mostly what I listen to.
because it exposes there's a whole world of contemporary pop music that often gets ignored on the pop charts and the record charts, because there's a whole lot, like there's a lot of people have roughly similar ideas, and it's always cool to have access to compare, contrast, and hear fresh ideas that you might have overlooked the last time.
Yeah. And I will say one last thing about him before we go. We're gonna go after this course is over.
Right. Win or lose.
Right. And that is, he had been making music up until like the mid-2000s, and it actually only recently passed, like, I believe in 2020 or 2021. So he lived a long life, and music was part of it. He was a composer and a director too, I believe. I believe he did some films, which...
That is awesome.
Yeah. I don't know anything about his films. I definitely have to do more research about him, but I like his music so far, what I've heard of it.
Same.
It's very catchy.
Same. I really like the Center of Gravity song.
Yeah, and deep and thought-provoking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was referenced in 80 Stars.
Yeah, because basically with 80 Stars, I really related to that song. Basically, he's disenchanted by the modern day music that's starting to all sound the same, and he misses the 80s, the 80s singers. So, yeah. Alright, well, I guess we will stop here for now, and we'll see you guys in the next part. Bye!
Bye! Ooh, we got some.
Oh, we got an egg.
Yep, so that puts us at 92.
Oh. Alrighty, see you guys next time.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.